So welcome to the second episode of Warming Up, sponsored by JL, who've kitted me out really nicely in this lovely one piece for the session today. So we have our Concept 2 rower, Row Perfect, any other row, hydro row, water row, whatever you're using, it's all the same. This is a standard warm-up that I would do for most sessions, and we're going to do a low intensity warm-up today. It's mostly going to have a technical focus. And welcome to my garage. So what I do first of all is I usually row in shoes, but today I'm going to row in bare feet because I know a lot of people row in bare feet, and it just shows you that they have options of both. So what I usually do is bring the socks down to show the heels because it grips the bottom of the Concept 2 a bit better. Row Perfect, you don't really need the grip as much. So what I like to do first of all is get into position and get my feet height set. So set the feet height, and all machines will have something like this. I like to have it in one from the top or two from the top. So heels nice and low, because if you get to this position and you can't get your knees far enough forward to get that nice straight angle, get the shins over vertical, then you need to move your feet down. If you're coming way over to this point, you need to maybe move the feet up to get a better position. What I like to do first of all, mostly in the boat, is start with the feet out, so no straps over the top of the feet. You obviously have your drag factor set on the rowing machine. For a heavyweight man, you can set it anywhere between 120 to 140. Some people set it to 145, 150, depending on how much power you have and how high of rating a session you're going to do. But for most international male rowers, we have it somewhere between 125 and 140, anywhere along there. So I have my drag factor set and my machine ready. I pick up my handle, and what do I do first of all? Come to backstops, get into that nice position, see my legs nice and straight and feet against the board. And what I usually do is start up with a sequence. So I'm starting up from the back, arms only, then bodies over, then I'm going to go to quarter slide, then I'm going to go to half slide, then I'm going to go to 3/4, and then fully out to the front, so full slide after that. And I usually spend somewhere either 200 meters to 250 meters at each, or what's easier sometimes is when you have the clock is I usually do a minute at each. So it means you're spending a long time with the arms, you're getting a lot more strokes than you are at the full slide, but overall you're covering it a nice distance. So we're going to go through that sequence now. Okay, so apologies, the machine's going to get a little bit louder. So that's an abbreviated, very quick, 5 strokes at each. But the things that I'm working on, the things that I'm thinking about here are my elbows positioned at the back. With my feet out, I can't lean back too far, so I'm holding my core up. It's making me engage through the core, through the hips. And if you followed our mobility session previously, you'll know that getting the hips opened up and getting that core activated is one of the main things about your mobility beforehand. Getting those elbows and arms nice and strong. Our band work and the mobility exercises is allows us to hold that strength, keeping that finish nice and tall. You don't want to be up in your neck, you don't want to be down in the bottom of your hip flexors or down here, and you want to be in that nice strong position. You want the flat wrist, so you want that wrist nice and flat through here. You want to hold that position. You don't want to be bent, you don't want to be like a little T-Rex. You want to be nice and strong, letting that away, and then it's a rhythm. So you want that 1, 1, 2. You don't what you don't want is to just be banging in and out, so you don't want to, that's not going to effectively allow the boat to move or allow the time in the recovery to be effective and good for overall endurance and like discipline on the machine. It's good to have that ratio, so you want a faster drive and take your time in the recovery. Then the next part, where we come out of the hands only, we're still having to engage because our feet are still out. Remember, we're not strapped in yet. Then we're coming to that bodies over position. So finish, arms, then the bodies come over. You should be at least over this level of the knees, keeping the legs nice and straight. Now in practice this is going to break down a little bit while you're rowing. Same for me, and you want to then come from this position and bring that all together. Your finished position doesn't change, and that's your bodies over position. And then once you get there, the next thing you do is just break your knees, different sequences. You get quarter slide, half slide, 3/4 slide, and then all the way out to full. But if you notice from here, quarter slide, half slide, 3/4, my position with my body at the top hasn't changed. I'm getting that good strong arm forward, getting that lat activation, and then I have a nice stroke. So once we've gone through that sequence, what I like to do then, after a minute or two, I'm probably in around 1,000 to sort of 1,500 meters of rowing at this stage. And you know, that's not abnormal before a workout or a session on the rowing machine, is to get that much of a warm up in. Then I'm going to put my feet in, going to pull my straps tight. So this means that I can start to pull the boat under me. So I can start to use my toes, use my feet to pull that slide. So on that recovery, I have more control. And also at the finish position, I can get a little bit more lean back. I can open up the body, keep the chest high, be stronger. And then what I'll usually do from there is I'll either work out from the back again, or sometimes I'll come into the front. And what I'll do is just work up that first part of the stroke. Just getting that nice relaxed hang. I tend to grab and bend the arms a wee bit at the catch, and a lot of rowers do this, but if you can get that position, drive off, keep the body nice and relaxed, and make sure the handle and the seat here are moving at the same time. So it's not handle, handle, or seat, seat, it's same time. And then you can work it up from the front until you get to that finished position. So you want to work up half slide for about 10-15 strokes, then out the full slide, but keeping the body over. So full slide, keeping the body over. Then you want to bring in full slide body, but keep the arms nice and straight. Keep that finished position, that core finished position where you want that body line through the legs. And then at the end, you can bring in the arms. And then I would row with that for another minute or two, making sure we're getting our rhythm, making sure we're getting our time in, get that ratio of drive to recovery. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the ratio to drive to recovery now, and it'll be pretty noisy for a second or two. So that's a nice example of where you want that ratio. You want that slow in, drive out. Holding that position, holding that finish, getting those elbows up, holding that core up tall. And that's how you warm up on the rowing machine. You can do this before going on the water, or you can add this onto your boat warm up. It's the exact same thing. In single scull, starting with the feet out, it's going to be harder. You're going to need to control that finish position more, and make sure you don't end up coming out of it like that. I've done that in the single and you nearly fall in, and it can rock your confidence. So just make sure you're keeping that switched on through the legs, through the core, keeping that chest up tall. Okay, so if you want to add in some higher rate bursts, say your session is at 26, 28 strokes a minute, you can add in 2 or 3 20 stroke to 1 minute bursts at that higher rate, usually working up to your maximal rate. And then what I like to do personally is do an extra burst over the rate of the session that I'm going to do. So if I'm, say, doing 4 10-minute pieces at 28, 26, I will do a 20 stroke burst at 30, 32, just so I know what a little bit of overspeed feels like before settling on to my rhythm. And that's how you warm up in the rowing machine. That's how I warm up in the rowing machine. If you did it differently, throw it in the comments below. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you to our kind sponsors for today. And good luck, have fun with your workouts, and be safe in the water.